Hello and welcome to All About Community. My name is Robert L. Harris and I am your host. When you think about the Bay Area, you think about the great opportunities that we have, especially opportunities for economic development, opportunities for black businesses to boom and be strong. Today we're going to talk about a leader in the black business community, Bernard Ashcraft from the Bay Area Business Roundtable. Bernard,
yes.
Welcome to All About Community.
Well, thank you.
I did get the name correct, did I not?
Absolutely.
All right. Now, tell me a little bit about the Bay Area Business Roundtable that I believe you formed it, didn't you?
Yes. Bay Area Business Roundtable was formed 24 years ago.
24 years? You must have been a teenager.
I was. I was 6 years old. And I celebrated my birthday by forming the Bay Area Business Roundtable. And we needed a platform that would address the gaps in social and economic justice. And we came up with two significant programs. One was workforce development and the other one was business development, with an idea that we could bridge the gap between small businesses and private and government contracting opportunities. And so we came up with a platform to get people heavily involved in going after contracts, but also to provide technical assistance to make them more competitive. And that's one of our goals.
Is to help make black businesses more competitive. I suppose that historically that has been one of the reasons given for not contracting with black contractors.
Well, yeah, and you know, it's unfortunate because there are so many resources available. It's just a big communication gap. There's a technical assistance gap. And so you have local, state, and federal government opportunities. And you have literally billions of dollars in contracting opportunities that African Americans really are excluded from. And so what we try to do is go in and work with government, work with private industry to bridge that gap, and but also to bring the small business to the table and teach them and talk to them about the challenges and some of the things that we really need to do to get through that door. And we've had some success, but not enough.
I noticed at your last meeting, which I had an opportunity to attend, there was someone from the Small Business Administration there, at least personally indicated to me that they do technical assistance.
Yes, they do. Small Business Administration also has an arm that's specifically designed to provide free technical assistance to small and local emerging businesses. And it's called SCORE, Senior Corps of Senior Executives. And we've worked with them in collaboration for the past 10 years, or maybe more. But also, that's a good thing, but the local government agencies and state agencies need to step up and do more.
What do you mean by that?
Well, first of all, the same services that SCORE and SBA offers, local government agencies and state government agencies can provide the same assistance.
Well, let's start right here in Oakland. What could Oakland do?
Well, I've been working with the city of Oakland and Debbie Barnes in particular, who's the manager of contracts and compliance with the city of Oakland, and that's where we've made some progress. Her insight, her expertise and background has given us a different view of what the requirements are. And so I would have to say that with Debbie Barnes, Ms. Barnes' assistance on advice and advisory capacity has probably resulted in a much more winnable situation than the other agencies.
And Ms. Barnes is a regular attendee at the Business Roundtable, is that not correct?
She's always at the Business Roundtable, and as a matter of fact, at the last Roundtable, we gave her our Spotlight Award because of her untiring, very long history of providing assistance.
So she, in essence, is ready, willing, and able to assist our minority businesses, is that correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. And one of the things that we have found out is that a lot of people don't make the requests. So when you don't make the request, people don't know that you need the help. But they feel more comfortable coming to the round table to seek that help. And so we're sort of like an intermediary.
So it validates the old saying, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We got to go to break. Bernard, we're going to be back in a minute. Don't touch that dial. Don't even think about grabbing that remote. We will be right back with Bernard Ashcraft of the Bay Area Business Roundtable.
My name is Jameer Dixon, and I'm a locating mark fieldman for PG&E. Most people in the community recognize the blue trucks as PG&E. My truck is something new. It's an 811 truck. When you call 811, I come out to your house, and I mark out our gas lines and our electric lines to make sure that you don't hit them when you're digging. 811 is a free service. I'm passionate about it because every time I go on the street, I think about my own kids. They're the reason that I want to protect our community and our environment. And if me driving that truck means that somebody gets to go home safer, then I'll drive it every day of the week.
Together, we're building a better California.
Visit Lena's Soul Food, a down-home, Southern-style soul food restaurant where every meal is served and prepared with love. Whether you choose to dine in with us, reserve one of our private rooms, or perhaps you desire our catering, Lena's Soul Food is located in the wonderful city of Oakland at 6403 Foothill Boulevard. Our business hours are 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and closed on Tuesdays. Give us a call at 510-957-5663. Lena's Soul Food, where memories and Southern-style meals are made.
Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris and I am your host. When we went to break, I was having a little bit of fun chatting with Bernard Ashcraft from the Bay Area Business Roundtable. We were talking about the city of Oakland and how Ms. Barnes has become more engaged in terms of helping our small businesses. Now, Bernard, let me ask you a question about the county. Is the Alameda County Board of Supervisors or staff involved?
Yes. I went to County of Alameda probably 15 years ago to seek a collaboration, and we have been successful in working in collaboration. One of the things that we do, and I do in particular, I try to surround myself with people who are smarter than me, who are experts in their field, and in that way we work in collaboration to find out where the gaps are and how to best fill those gaps. And so I've always had a history of working with people like Debbie Barnes and Alameda County officials because they work in the field. They know where the problem is, but they also have the answers. And so
they have resources that we could avail ourselves of, but we have to, I suppose, dig down deep with them and help them understand what resources we need.
Absolutely, and a small business in particular should never become comfortable. You can't become a large business if you get comfortable. And so you really have to take advantage of the services. And I might add, the services in Alameda County and the city of Oakland are free services. And all you have to do is make a request and get someone to be your champion. In each of those agencies, each of those cities and counties, you find someone who can be your champion and work with you.
And you can learn that, can't you, at the Bay Area Business Roundtable?
Yes, yes. And what we do is we try to be their backup. We ask, for example, if someone wants to make a bid and they don't understand some of the wording or the packages or requirements, we ask them to come to our office. We bring on somebody from the city or the county who actually works in that field and ask for technical assistance to make them more competitive. And this is all free service. All
free?
Yes.
Well, I mean, if it's free, it's silly not to take advantage of it. Is that right?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Now, Bernard, can you give the audience a little bit of understanding about your business background, your background, just briefly?
Yes.
So they can better understand why you're so knowledgeable.
Yes. Well, you know, I moved to San Diego in the late 60s after getting out of the Navy. I started a civil rights organization while going to school, and I attended National University and UCSD. And we had a very, very good organization called the Black Action Committee, where we really worked on workforce development issues, business development issues, and other types of community health related issues. And I did that for almost 30 years before I moved to Oakland. And when I came to Oakland, I spent 2 years at the Oakland City Council staff, and then started a training center, which became the Bay Area Business Roundtable. So my background is really part of the civil rights movement, and you know, I'm a tree shaker, not a jelly maker. And so
now, where were you born? Where were you born? Where were you born?
I was born in a place called Fayette, Missouri, not too far from Arkadelphia, where you're from. And I tell people all the time that everywhere I go, I take your book with me, because you have some strategies in your book that if people followed, they can be successful.
Oh, Bernard, you just know what to say. That's why I'm so happy to have you here. He plugged my book, Goodbye Arkadelphia, Turning Obstacles into Opportunities. There's something else about Bernard, besides the fact that we both have bow ties on, and that is that we are members of what?
The great Kappa Alpha Psi.
He's one of my Kappa brothers.
That's right.
Bernard, is there anything else we need to cover about the Bay Area Business Roundtable? How people can get in contact with the Roundtable?
Yes, we're starting 2 new initiatives. One is putting together what we call a talent acquisition pipeline, so we can find more people who are looking for employment and careers to be recruited, be trained, and be linked up with major corporations. But also, the project that I'm most proud of right now is the Ambassador Program. We're going to seek out and bring in 10 to 12 ambassadors. These will be people from all over the Bay Area who are activists in different areas. Like we appointed the first ambassador 2 weeks ago who lives in Vallejo and who's active in Vallejo. Well, we're going to do that from Vallejo all the way down to San Jose. We want to have 10 or 12 ambassadors who have their ear to the ground, who are activists in those areas, and who can collaborate with the Roundtable, and we work together on similar strategies to address the gaps.
Now, is there a website or something that people could learn more about that and other things that the Roundtable does?
Yes. Website is babrt.org. That will get you to us. It has a menu of things that we're involved in, and give us a call. Our services are free. And that's why I'm so broke.
Too good to be true, too good to be free. I tell you, Bernard, you're doing a great job heading up the Bay Area Roundtable. We want to thank you for being our guest, and keep on keeping on and keep on doing what you're doing, because it's making a difference in our community. We appreciate you. Bernard Ashcraft, Bay Area Business Roundtable. Thank you for joining us. It's all about community.
us out at KJ's Barber and Hair Creations, located 22126 Mission Boulevard in Hayward, California. We specialize in fades, tapers, dreads, weave coloring, and more. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays by appointments only. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at KJ's Barbershop. For more information, contact us at 510-690-9610. So come on down to KJ's Barber and Hair Creations.
Hello and welcome to All About Community. My name is Robert L. Harris and I am your host. Every year there is an exciting luncheon here in the Bay Area sponsored by the National Coalition 100 Black Women Bay Area Chapter. I'm talking today with its immediate past president, Cheryl Perry Lee. Cheryl, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
We miss you. I believe you were here last year, isn't that correct?
Yes. And,
now tell us a little bit about the Madam C.J. Walker. Well, I'm going to say that for the second person that's going to come on, Robin Cameron, about the luncheon that's coming up. But tell us a little bit about the Bay Area chapter of the National Coalition of Black Women.
Yes, I'll be very happy to do that. The Coalition of 100 Black Women is an organization of over 60 chapters.
Throughout the United States.
Throughout the United States, membership exceeding 4,000. And the organization has 60 chapters, as I said, including Washington, D.C. And our chapter was chartered in 1995. And
okay, 23 years ago.
Yeah, and we're still moving and doing lots of good things.
And you served as president from what year to what year?
I served as president, let's see, that was 4 years. So that was 2013 through 2017.
Okay, 4 long, short years, right?
Short
you
years.
enjoyed it very much, right?
Very exciting.
But you
I
enjoyed
enjoyed it.
more being a past president, right?
Well, it seems like as past president, I'm working a little harder by assisting those who are in leadership now.
Well, that's good.
So that's my new role.
All right, and you enjoy that role, don't you?
I do, very much.
Now tell us a little bit more about the 100 Black Women Coalition here in the Bay Area.
The Bay Area chapter is a very active chapter. We have programs in health, education, and economic empowerment.
Well, let's talk about some of them in health.
Right.
What programs do you have in health?
In the health program, we have what we call our HIV testing program, and we work with CalPEP. CalPEP is an organization that is certified to test individuals to make sure they understand their status. And what we do is we work with them through the summer, and the project, basically our work is mobilizing in the community, getting them out to get tested. So we do this for about couple of months, and what that means is we're there from 5:30 to 8:30 at night, and usually 40.
Is that right here in the Bay Area?
Only in Oakland.
And how would one find out about that program?
Well, certainly our website.
All right, tell us about the website.
100blackwomen.com.
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 Ah,
right.
I see, I had it right.
And so that's one of our programs. The other one is education. We have a Positive Steps program for girls 12 to 18.
Now, are you working with any particular school for the
It's
education?
Bay Area wise.
Just
the students come from all over.
From various schools.
Right, and it's a program that starts in September. It ends in June, and the girls meet with us every third Saturday.
And how many girls do you have involved in the program?
At least 30, but
Yes.
we had registered over about 60 this year.
And economic.
Oh, the economic empowerment is, we're developing a series, and our kickoff is on next, February 22nd, and we're doing a first-time home buyers program.
All right, well that sounds good, and I
Yes.
know that you have April 6th, a date that's coming up with
Yes.
the annual gala luncheon, a luncheon gala, in San Francisco, I believe, April 6th.
Right, at the San
And
Francisco
we're going to have
area.
somebody who will follow you to tell us all about that. But
Yes.
let me say, Cheryl, it is always a pleasure to have you here
Thank you.
on All About Community. Thank you
you.
for being our guest. And stay tuned. We're coming right back with part number 2 of the program with Robin Cameron to talk about the April 6th event.
My name is Jameer Dixon, and I'm a Locate and Mark Fieldman for PG&E. Most people in the community recognize the blue trucks as PG&E. My truck is something new. It's an 811 truck. When you call 811, I come out to your house, and I mark out our gas lines and our electric lines to make sure that you don't hit them when you're digging. 811 is a free service. I'm passionate about it because every time I go on the street, I think about my own kids. They're the reason that I want to protect our community and our environment. And if me driving that truck means that somebody gets to go home safer, then I'll drive it every day of the week.
Together, we're building a better California.
Visit Lena's Soul Food, a down-home, Southern-style soul food restaurant where every meal is served and prepared with love. Whether you choose to dine in with us, reserve one of our private rooms, or perhaps you desire our catering, Lena's Soul Food is located in the wonderful city of Oakland at 6403 Foothill Boulevard. Our business hours are 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and closed on Tuesdays. Give us a call at 510-957-5663. Lena's Soul Food, where memories and Southern-style meals are made.
Come check us out at KJ's Barber and Hair Creations, located 22126 Mission Boulevard in Hayward, California. We specialize in fades, tapers, dreads, weave coloring, and more. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays by appointments only. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at KJ's Barbershop. For more information, contact us at 510-690-9610. So come on down to KJ's Barber and Hair Creations.
Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris and I am your host. When we went to break, we were talking with Cheryl Perry League, but this is not Cheryl Perry League sitting next to me. This is Robin Cameron. And Robin, you have a special position with the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Bay Area chapter. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And that position is?
Well, it's a dual position. So I am the financial secretary, but I'm also the co-chair for our annual fundraiser luncheon coming up.
You count the money, but we're not going to talk about the money today. We're going to talk about April 6th,
Yes.
the annual fundraiser.
Yes.
And where's it going to be?
It's at the San Francisco Marriott Marquis.
Marriott's
right
my
downtown.
favorite hotel.
Yes.
Across the nation and around the world.
Yes.
So you chose wisely.
Oh, well, I didn't choose it, but yes, we chose wisely.
Now tell us something about the C.J. Madam C.J. Walker luncheon.
So this is our actual 20th annual Madam C.J. Walker, and this is our, luncheon where we honor women in the community that are doing great things here in the Bay Area. And we'd like to highlight the entrepreneurial spirit of African Americans and really just come together in fellowship as a community.
Who are some of the women you're honoring? And why?
Well, so we're honoring, we're honoring Beverly Green from AC Transit, as well as Lanice Jones, and make sure so I don't get these names wrong, as well as Kimberly Brandon from Morgan Stanley.
I know Kimberly.
Oh.
She's my financial advisor.
Oh, well, there you go. And then the Honorable Diana Becton.
Former judge.
Former district attorney, yes, in Contra Costa County.
Yeah, she's running for district attorney. And I can't say this on the program because it would sound a little biased, but vote for her. She is great. Be sure and cast your vote for her for district attorney, Contra Costa County. I've said it now. They're going to fire me. But they can't fire me because they don't pay me. And who else?
So those are our honorees, but we also have MC Light, who's going to be our keynote speaker, and then we also honor our Positive Step essay contest winner. And our Positive Steps program is our mentoring program, which includes high school and middle school girls in the Oakland Bay Area.
And what is the theme for I believe there's a morning session?
Yes. So, the theme for the luncheon is honoring the past, treasuring the present, and shaping the future. And then the morning sessions, we're doing breakout sessions where we have one session about reclaiming our narrative. And that's
what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
That's powerful. What does that mean to the audience?
Absolutely. So it's really about reclaiming the narrative around the Black experience. So we have great names included in that session along Elaine Brown, Desi Woods Jones, Martina Abrams of the You Had Me at Black podcast, as well as Shayla Jamerson from the So Oakland Collective, and really talking about not just the negative experiences around being Black. A lot of people hear about in the media some of the negative things, but also talking about joy and happiness and some of the positive things about being a black woman, and it's multi-generational. So it's not just we have millennials, we have baby boomers. So I think it will be a really great blend of a conversation to talk about the Black experience.
Now let's get down to the what we used to call in the old days the nitty-gritty. How does one find out about the tickets and all the events around it, and just in case they want to go? I know I want to go, but I'm just broke.
Well, we certainly hope to see you. We will find a way to make it work.
You're so kind.
So all of our information is on our website, 100blackwomen.com, all words, 100blackwomen.com. Also, we have a Facebook page, a LinkedIn page, we have a Twitter account, Instagram, I believe that's it. But I mean, we have been promoting this event. We are all around the community, making sure we're talking about it and people know that it's coming up on April 6th, Friday, April 6th.
Friday, April 6th. But what's really different between this year and last year?
Yeah. So last year was the first year that we piloted these morning sessions, and so we had a very small group. Really wanted to try out, if it would work, if people would show up. And so this year we're expanding it to 2 sessions, and these are 60-minute sessions where we have panelists that come and engage with the audience. So it's a little bit more of an intimate experience. Our second session that I didn't get a chance to talk about is the digital business is everyone's business. So of course we're in the Bay Area. You have a lot of organizations that are in the tech industry, and really that conversation is about not just the tech industry, but how industries that aren't likely to be considered the tech industry are, integrating tech into the way that they do business and how they need to think about how they grow as organizations as well.
So in other words, April 6th, San Francisco Marriott Marquis is going to be a great day. Is that right?
Yes, a jam-packed day.
Jam-packed day, and we would certainly hope that all of you will take the time out of your busy schedules to attend this luncheon. You will learn a lot. I have enjoyed having as my guest today from the National Coalition of 100 Black Women.
Oakland Bay Area chapter.
Oakland Bay Area chapter. Not only Cheryl Perry, but Robin Kammer.
Yes.
No matter what you do, when you do it, or how you do it, in the final analysis, it is still going to be all about community. Thank you for joining us. And again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host.
Lakay Body Essentials. Pamper yourself with our whipped body butter. Our natural, luxurious body butter main ingredients is shea butter. Our body butter, body oils, and lotions will definitely increase healthier looking and smoother skin. We provide an overall relaxation experience from bath teas and soy candles. You can check us out on Facebook or Instagram at Lakay Body Essentials. That's L-E-K Body Essentials.
My name is Jameer Dixon, and I'm a locating Mark Fieldman for PG&E. Most people in the community recognize the blue trucks as PG&E. My truck is something new. It's an A11 truck. When you call A11, I come out to your house, and I mark out our gas lines and our electric lines to make sure that you don't hit them when you're digging. A11 is a free service. I'm passionate about it because every time I go on the street, I think about my own kids. They're the reason that I want to protect our community and our environment. And if me driving that truck means that somebody gets to go home safer, then I'll drive it every day of the week.
Together, we're building a better California.
Come check us out at KJ's Barber and Hair Creations, located 22126 Mission Boulevard in Hayward, California. We specialize in fades, tapers, dreads, weave coloring, and more. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sundays by appointments only. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at KJ's Barbershop. For more information, contact us at 510-690-9610. So come on down to KJ's Barber and Hair Creations.
Hello and welcome to All About Community. My name is Robert L. Harris, and I am your host. Have you ever been to Paris? Just think about that beautiful city. Today we're going to talk about a person and speak with a person who lives in Paris, but More importantly, she's from the Bay Area, Ricky Stevenson. Ricky, welcome to All About Community.
Thank
It
you,
is
Robert.
so great to have you back here in the Bay Area, if only for a moment.
Well, I get to come and spend a couple of months every year. I get to come here. There's no place like Oakland. This is my birth city. I was born at Oak Knoll Naval Hospital. I love this city. Always came back. Always had this passion for this city. And then when I went to Europe, I found out that Oakland was created to look like a Mediterranean city.
Now let's talk just for a moment about before you went to Europe. Right here in Oakland, I know you were involved in so many things, especially in the media. Give the audience just a brief synopsis of
Okay,
that.
let me see if I can make this really brief. My mother, before she married my father, they got married in San Francisco, my mother had been a professional dancer. She had one time danced with Louis Armstrong's band. And so she had this passion for all of those African American entertainers and performers who would come to France. So at 3, my mother took me from San Diego, we were a Navy family, to Los Angeles, and I got to see Josephine Baker for the first time and her rainbow tribe of 12 children. I was fascinated.
And we're going to talk about Josephine Baker
Absolutely.
when we get to Paris.
Well, you've done the tour, what happened. And then when I was about 10, we were living in East Palo Alto. That's where I went to high school. And James Baldwin came to Stanford, and my mother took me to hear him speak. I still have the book that he autographed for me.
Fire Next Time?
Fire Next Time. Autographed to Ricky Stevenson.
All right.
And so throughout my life, there have been instances that seemed to push me. I was determined I was going to go to Paris when I grew up. The thing that's most significant, though, is my mother was a news junkie. And I'd get up in the morning and watch the news with her. And I can remember one morning watching the Dave Garroway show, and a little kid, and I'm sitting there with my hands on my chin. And there was a black man who had been a pilot in France in World War I. His name was Eugene Jacques Bullard. He had been a master pilot, had won all the highest awards and medals the French government could give. When he stayed in France for a while, and at one point he was injured in World War II, and he came back to New York, and the best job, this man who was a pilot, he had been the manager and owner of a number of nightclubs. He was kind of like the godfather for the black American community in Paris. The best job he could get in New York in the 50s was as an elevator operator. And General Charles de Gaulle, who was then the president of France, this must have been in 1960, General Charles de Gaulle came to New York to give him some more medals. And they had a big banquet, and the next day I got to see him on the Dave Garroway show, and here he was in his elevator operator uniform and the cap, Rockefeller Center, with all of these medals across his chest.
And you have an interesting video on...
I do have a video about the men who fought, some 300,000 African American men and women who fought in World War I. Now, the first group of African Americans began going in 1917, but the major force went in 1918. And so this year, 2018, we're commemorating the 100th anniversary of African Americans going to France to help win World War I.
And when we come back from break, we're going to talk specifically about Paris and Black Paris tours. Don't touch that dial. Don't even think about grabbing that remote. We will be right back with Ricky Stevenson talking about Black Paris.
Come check us out at KJ's Barber and Hair Creations, located 22126 Mission Boulevard in Hayward, California. We specialize in fades, tapers, dreads, weave coloring, and more. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sundays by appointments only. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at KJ's Barbershop. For more information, contact us at 510-690-9610. So come on down to KJ's Barber and Hair Creations.
Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris and I am your host. When we went to break, we were just really enthralled with Ricky as she talked about the war and the black people in war, black men in particular in war, World War II.
World War One? Well, World War II.
World War One?
World War One, World War II. We have been in every one of the great conflagrations.
And we're about to give a...
This year, 2018, marks the 100th anniversary of a group called the 369th Harlem Hellfighters.
Right.
These were African-American men and some women who came, most of them from New York City, from that area called
Harlem. And that
Harlem.
was World War II.
This is World War I. This is
wow.
the 100th anniversary. So they arrived January 1st, 1918. And what was so wild is that before they even got off the boat, they landed in a town called Brest that's up in northern France. And the French are like, oh, who are these people? And their band leader, a man named James Reese Europe, had them perform the French national anthem. Now, you have to know, Jimmy Reese Europe was the baddest musician in the United States.
You're so passionate about that.
I am.
But what if somebody wanted to see that
documentary?
Video you have, that documentary? Where would they go on your website?
They would go to the Black Paris Tour. www.blackparistour.com. Go to our website, and that video is one of many on our so-called Wall of Fame.
Now tell us about Black Paris Tours.
Oh.
I have walked it.
Yes, you have.
Several times.
You and your wife and children.
Now tell us about it so that whenever you go to Paris, you don't miss this opportunity.
Well, when I got to Paris 20 years ago, and celebrating my 20th anniversary there, I knew that there was so much of our history. I'd worked as a journalist, I was in television, I'd been in radio, I'd been at the United Nations as a reporter, and I love our history. I love who we are. And so my friends started coming over, and they were like, well, show us what you found. And I had to take them where Josephine Baker performed. I had to take them to the Arc of Triomphe, which we think, that
and
huge
Josephine Baker
arch.
was able to really perform there when she didn't really get the kind of
19 years old, 19 years old. But see, this is why it's so significant that we know about the men from World War I. When they brought their jazz, it was the first time jazz was really introduced. From that point on, the French went berserk. They wanted to hear African American jazz. It's like the way, you know how you feel when you hear Alpha Phi Alpha, Omega Psi Phi. When you hear
don't forget Kappa Alpha.
Okay, don't Kappas. You know how you feel. You know how you feel when you hear the fraternities and they're marching and the marching bands, and it just blows you away.
Right.
Well, for the French, this was their first time having that feeling, was when these black men came. So when the war ended and the French were upset, please don't go, please don't leave. And so they started trying to attract more black American entertainers. And when Josephine Baker and her group came over in 1925, they were treated like gold. They were treated the way they should have been treated right here in the United States. As celebrities. They were accorded. Now, there's some bad celebrities and some good celebrities.
Absolutely.
Jack Johnson came to Paris, and the French were not really thrilled with him. He was kind of silly.
Well,
he was disruptive.
He was Jack Johnson.
Yeah, he was disruptive. But for those who came with such intellect, Frederick Douglass, Dr. Du Bois, Carter G. Woodson, the father of Negro history.
Exactly.
Not many people know that Dr. Carter G. Woodson studied in France during his junior year. He traveled to Asia, he traveled to Africa. When he came back, he said, we will never call ourselves a minority again. If we know who we are, If we know who we are from our history,
You're so passionate. Now, sum up Black Parish tours.
okay, let me see if I
Again,
can
so that when
calmly
people
sum it up.
come to Paris, they will know how to contact you, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, Robert, I know you know how to do it.
I
But
know.
when they come, they will go to our website, www.blackparistour, no S at the end. And we have a whole fabulous website with images of the African Americans who have come, thousands of them, and left their mark on that city. And then we do a one-day tour. We do a full-day tour. I think you guys took the full-day tour. And then we have dinner in Little Africa. Or we do a 2/3 day tour for those who really want the concentration of African American and Caribbean history. I'm really thrilled. I have a couple that came first, then they brought their children, then they brought their whole family, then the children came in college, and then the children now are bringing their families.
And I wish we could go on and on. You give such a vivid picture of what happens with a Black Parish tour, and I've been on it. My wife, my kids, it has just been fascinating.
Remember Sacré-Cœur? Remember going to the top of Sacré-Cœur?
Absolutely. And
right next to Little Africa.
Little Africa was just
Yeah.
like a whole new world right
Yes.
there in Paris. You felt as though you are in Africa. Ricky, I want to thank you for being who you are and for the many contributions that you made, not only to the media, but certainly to the world through
thank
your
you,
tours.
Robert.
Black Tours of Paris. It makes a tremendous difference.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
My friends in Paris, when I first came, they were like, you should say you're from San Francisco. Nobody knows Oakland. I said, you will know it. And so now my friends think they've met everyone from Oakland. So they're like, Oakland's in the house.
And when you meet Ricky Stevenson, you have met Black Tours of Paris.
Black Paris.
And you have met Oakland.
Yes, you will.
Ricky, thank you so much
It's my
for being
pleasure.
our guest.
I'll come back whenever you want me to.
You will be back, I can assure you. Hold on, we'll be back with more guests on All About Community.
Lakay Body Essentials. Pamper yourself with our whipped body butter. Our natural, luxurious body butter main ingredients is shea butter. Our body butter, body oils, and lotions will definitely increase healthier looking and smoother skin. We provide an overall relaxation experience from bath teas and soy candles. You can check us out on Facebook or Instagram at Lakay Body Essentials. That's L-E-K Body Essentials.
My name is Jameer Dixon, and I'm a locating Mark Fieldman for PG&E. Most people in the community recognize the blue trucks as PG&E. My truck is something new. It's an 811 truck. When you call 811, I come out to your house, and I mark out our gas lines and our electric lines to make sure that you don't hit them when you're digging. 811 is a free service. I'm passionate about it because every time I go on the street, I think about my own kids. They're the reason that I want to protect our community and our environment. And if me driving that truck means that somebody gets to go home safer, then I'll drive it every day of the week.
Together, we're building a better California.
Come check us out at KJ's Barber and Hair Creations, located 22126 Mission Boulevard in Hayward, California. We specialize in fades, tapers, dreads, weave coloring, and more. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sundays by appointments only. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at KJ's Barbershop. For more information, contact us at 510-690-9610. So come on down to KJ's Barber and Hair Creations.
Hello and welcome to All About Community. My name is Robert L. Harris and I am your host. I am just simply delighted to have as my special guest today, Daryl White. Daryl is somewhat of a legend here in the Bay Area, even though he's a young man, in the sense that he's been the chairman of the 100 Black Men of the Bay Area. He was one of the founders of First Friday, and I could go on and on and on. But Daryl White, welcome to All About Community.
Well, thank you, Bob.
Now tell me, what have you been doing recently in the community?
Well, there's been a lot going on, Bob. I recently just got back on the board of 100 Black Men, really excited about that.
Now, how did you manage to get back on?
I've been off for a little while, but was looking to get back in community-oriented things with the 100. I'm already doing stuff in the Boulé, so I wanted to get back and do that with the 100 and kind of merge some of the activities and really focus on what's going on with our kids right now in our community.
And how long were you chairman of the 100?
4 years.
4 long years. A lot of fun, right?
It was a lot of fun, Bob.
And
a lot of work.
and during the last few years, you've been involved. You mentioned the Boulé Sigma Pi Phi fraternity.
Correctly.
And what have you been doing with Sigma Pi Phi fraternity?
Well, I just
known
took
as the
on
Boulé?
co-chair of the Social Action Committee along with Bill Hosley, who's a member of 100 Black Men as well. And really, it was, once again, stepping up for the kids, just doing things in the community, watching what's going on in our community with our kids.
Do you have a specific project you guys are involved in?
I have a few specific projects. One in particular is every November, we do a program up at the University of San Francisco where we invite a group of students out to come and learn about the college itself, and also Visions of Success is what we call the program, how to learn to be people like the people who are in the Boulé, so they can learn what kind of steps
Learn how
they
to
need
be a person like you.
A person like me and a person like you, Bob, exactly, yes.
Yeah, and how many boys do you have involved? Is it just boys or is it boys and girls?
There's boys and girls.
And how many you have involved?
In this particular program, we average about 80 students. So it's probably 60-40 girls to boys in the program. In the 100 Black Men, it's predominantly boys, but not exclusively. So we have over 300 kids in that program.
And you meet with the kids once a week, once a month, or what? Or is this a yearly basis?
So with the Boulé, we have quarterly events that we do with the kids. In the 100, we have monthly events that we do with the kids. There's like 4 different programs. There's the Tommy Smith Youth Track Meet that happens every year, but there's a bunch of track meets that happen in between there and at the different schools. We have the mentoring programs that we go into the schools and mentor the kids. We also have the education program where we give out scholarships to the kids.
And why do you do this, and why is it important?
You know, there's several reasons for me, Bob. One is I was brought through a program like this myself as a kid. I remember growing up in Louisville, Kentucky, and my mother was a school teacher, and most of her relatives were in education, and my father was a corporate executive, but he was living in a different state, and I just didn't know what I really wanted to do. And so really it was a program called Black Achievers in the YMCA that I got involved in that really steered me towards being an engineer, going to school at Purdue and things like that. Really got me excited about that. And then, you know, secondly, the recharge for me right now is, unfortunately, we lost our son about a year ago last year. And it's important to me to get out and mentor young African-American men to just make sure they're all going down the right path. He was going down the right path, but things happen. And so I also look at my little girls right now and say, hey, you know, I want to make sure that there's enough good black men out there for them when they get ready to go out into the world and do things that they want to do. And so, you know, I have a vested interest all the way around.
And you're also a member of some fraternity called?
I am, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity
Alpha
Incorporated.
Psi.
That's right. That's right. Which also does a lot of mentoring as well.
Indeed,
That's
indeed.
right.
Now let's focus for a moment on First Fridays. How did that get started, and what was the purpose behind that? And I understand it's still going on.
Yeah, so there was actually a few individuals that started First Fridays a few years before I did. They started in 1988. I came on the scene in 1992. I was in the Bay Area. I was working at Intel Corporation. I was out looking for something to do around African American individuals that were up and coming African American individuals. I ran across First Fridays. I fell in love with it. It was May of 1992. And I said, this is the one place I can go and I see people like myself dressed up in a suit, working, looking for the next achievement in life, whether it be buying a home or whatever they were trying to do in their life, go to MBA school, whatever. So I fell in love with that organization, got involved, and then my partner Deanna and I ran it for several years, and it's just grown over the years. And we ended it with we didn't end it, but we started it with a major white party several years ago, which has grown over the years to 2,000-3,000 people each year when we do an annual event. And so things have changed in our community as far as people wanting to get dressed up on a first Friday and
Hey,
go out.
nothing wrong with dressing up.
Right. But we try to maintain the integrity of the event that we've done over the years and continue to do that.
I recall, as a member of the 100 Black Men in the Bay Area, I believe it was during your tenure, you placed a lot of focus on economic development. Why is it important for blacks to engage in economic development?
Good question, Bob. I think that is one of the only plights in our community that we really can control somewhat. There's so many roadblocks for us, from the education system, through the health system, through the prison system, all those different stumbling blocks that have put out before us. I think that economically is one of the areas that we actually have some control over, and we can kind of maneuver things to better our plight. So me being, I was in banking for a period of time, and so that was definitely of interest to me to work on that a little bit, fostering more activities around that. And then also black businesses are just so important right now.
And what about blacks doing business with other blacks? How do you view that?
I think it's very important. One of the things they say about our community, unfortunately, is that the dollar doesn't stay in our community too long. So I think it's very important that we make sure the dollar stays in our community by doing business with each other.
Historically, that has not been the case. That is, blacks being eager, like Koreans and others, to do business with each other. Why do you think that is? And what can we do to combat that?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of different reasons. I mean, some of them are reasons that have been put before us, things that make us not really trust each other. And we've bought into some of that over time. But I think that one way to correct that is really getting people like you and me, Bob, and other people in the 100 and the Boule and Kappa Alpha Psi to actually work together, because we can leverage the trust that we have for one another to start building something that others can jump onto.
And organizations like the Oakland African American Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce are important for that reason. Is that right?
Absolutely. Must support it even more. That's an organization that's been around for several years. I know that when I was in the bank, I actually helped support the organization quite a bit.
You did, and we appreciate it.
All right, great. And I think we need to support it even more. So that is another organization that we can leverage to help make that growth happen.
And the Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce, for example, tries to bring all businesses together, especially African American business, so that they can learn to trust each other and do business with each other. Because it's a sad day when you have people with resources not utilizing those resources in their own community. What you're doing, I guess, is building up some other community with your own funds, and that doesn't make sense.
And you're absolutely right, Bob. And the other part of it is that the Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce gives resources and opportunities to African Americans, but a lot of times they're just not there to hear about it and understand all the opportunities that come available.
And that's true. So by joining the Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce, you will avail yourselves of those resources, just as Daryl White just said. Daryl, I want to thank you for coming. You've been a great friend over the years, and I personally want to congratulate you for all that you do here in the Bay Area, especially in the African American community. And in the final analysis, no matter what you do, when you do it, or even how you do it, it's still going to be all about community. Daryl, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it.